Welcome to Mirror World Tales. They say that mirrors show us the truth. They say they reflect reality exactly as it is. But physics tells us that light needs time to travel. Even if it is just a fraction of a nanosecond, what you see in the mirror is always the past. Usually, that delay is too small to notice. But sometimes, the gap gets wider. And sometimes, something else slips into that gap. Tonight's story is about a man who looked into the glass and realized that his reflection was waiting for him to blink. Close your eyes. Let's enter the mirror world. I've always been a creature of habit. Wake up at 7 a.m., coffee at 7:15, shower at 7:30, leave for work by 8. My life was a perfectly calibrated clock. That is, until last Tuesday. It happened at the bathroom. I was tired. I hadn't slept well. The heat in the apartment was unbearable. I was brushing my teeth, staring blankly at the medicine cabinet mirror, just going through the motions. I spit into the sink and wiped my mouth. Then I looked up to check my teeth. And that's when I saw it. In the mirror, I was still wiping my mouth. It was fast, maybe half a second, but I saw it. My hand was already down by my side in the real world, but in the glass, my hand was just leaving my face. I froze. I stared at myself. My reflection stared back. Perfect synchronization. I blinked. It blinked. I waved my hand. It waved back instantly. "You need more sleep, David," I whispered to myself. My voice sounded hollow in the tiled room. I laughed it off. Just a trick of the brain, a synapse misfiring. But the next morning, it happened again. I was tying my tie. I finished the knot and dropped my hands. In the mirror, my hands were still tightening the fabric. 1, 2, drop. A 2-second delay. This time I didn't laugh. A cold feeling like ice water trickled down my spine. I stood there, paralyzed, watching the glass. The reflection was watching me. It looked like me. It had my blue eyes, my dark hair, my tired skin. But the expression, it felt flat, like a mask. I tested it. I raised my right hand quickly. The reflection stood still. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Then, slowly, the reflection raised its right hand. I wasn't looking at an echo anymore. I was looking at a recording, or a delay. I grabbed my phone to record it. I needed proof. I held the camera up to the mirror. On my phone screen, everything was normal. No delay. But with my naked eyes, I could see the reflection lagging behind. It was only happening to me. Only I could see it. I called in sick to work. I couldn't leave the apartment. I went into the living room and covered the large decorative mirror with a blanket. I avoided the windows. I felt like if I didn't look at it, it wasn't real. By nightfall, the silence in the apartment was heavy. I was sitting on the couch, reading, trying to distract myself. Then I heard a sound. Tap, tap, tap. It came from the bathroom. I live alone. I locked the door. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of a fingernail hitting glass. I didn't want to go. Every instinct in my body screamed at me to run out the front door. But curiosity is a curse. I walked to the bathroom. The door was slightly ajar. It was dark inside, illuminated only by the streetlights coming through the small window. The tapping had stopped. I pushed the door open. I looked at the mirror above the sink. My reflection wasn't there. The bathroom in the mirror was empty. I could see the shower curtain behind me in the reflection. I could see the open door, but I wasn't in it. I waved my hands. Nothing. I was invisible. Finally, I thought, I'm just going crazy. I'm hallucinating. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. I stepped closer to the sink, gripping the porcelain, leaning in to inspect the empty glass. And then, from the bottom of the mirror, a hand rose up. Not my hand. It looked like mine, but the fingers were too long. Too many joints. It gripped the inside of the glass frame. Then the head rose up. It was me. But it was wrong. The smile was too wide. It stretched from ear to ear, showing too many teeth. The eyes were wide open, unblinking, devoid of any white, just solid black voids. It wasn't lagging anymore. It leaned forward, pressing its face against the glass from the other side. Fog appeared on the mirror where its breath hit the surface. I tried to pull back, but I couldn't move. I was paralyzed by pure, primal terror. The thing in the mirror opened its mouth, and for the first time, I heard it speak. But the voice didn't come from the mirror. The voice came from behind me, right in my ear. It whispered, "My turn." Everything went black. The police report said that David was found 2 days later. He was sitting in his bathroom, staring at the wall. He was alive, but he hasn't spoken a word since. Doctors say it's a catatonic state, trauma. But here's the detail they left out of the papers. When they found him, all the mirrors in the house were smashed, except one. A small handheld mirror found clutched in David's hand. And if you looked closely at that mirror, really closely, you would see that David's reflection wasn't looking at him. It was looking away. It was pounding on the glass, screaming for help, screaming to be let out. Next time you look in the mirror, check the timing. Make sure you blink first. This has been Mirror World Tales. Sleep well.